change, I think particularly, is that all those sections that were downhill and sliding away, they're now going to be the ones that are providing you with grip, and vice versa, of course, as Alistair shows, to create effect coming through. What yesterday was quite a slippery section amongst the long grass there, but now seems to be providing you with plenty of traction, particularly on the front end, that was tending to understeer throughout Saturday's action. Now down towards the bottom of the hill, that Kenny was a crucial quarter yesterday, and I think it's probably still quite important today. Yes, especially starting to come off the palm off the horse. Alistair's making light work of the thing on the pitch train. We'll get to later on. Making great effect of actually, and that's where a lot of the rally was coming from. As for the running order, we've got out onto the stage. It seems to be possibly the 104 Henry Kinwell that is opening up the stage action, competitive action. That right there is one that I'm here to keep an eye out for. Henry's made light work of that, as he did much of the rally yesterday. The 104, 15 seconds worth of advantage it's got coming into today ahead of McKinson and Ollie Forrester. Those three quite a bit ahead of the rest of the field. Yeah, penalty. An eye on that as we go through. One we'll also keep an eye on is going to be Dr. Robert Johnson, who is something in the sky, which is actually making another little challenge for the driver. Special people from the World Rally taking part in the race, you'll get to meet some of the stars. I couldn't introduce stages, you mentioned Tom as well, so you'll get to see something. But also we got independently, we've got a whole collection of great family cars. We've got Jimmy's rally cars, Alistair's, Anna Collins, a unique collection. It stretches almost the entire length of Knockhill. And that's free and open to come down and look at for most of the day. The only time it's not going to be when it's summarising a couple of cars out, but it's certainly going to be at one point at any time. And we'll be able to see all of those cars that much like all of them come backstage and explain what they are, what their place is, what the industry is. And well worth getting up close and seeing these cars. It stretches all the way from Jimmy's Vauxhall Chevettes that used to win the British Championship way back in the 80s. It's got Collins, first ever independent car, which was a mini autotest here, all of that. And also we use this area for autograph sessions as well. Our guests, the autographs down. We should also mention again, the driver is cars, a valuable part of the rally experience to just be careful in of course, the working environments around with things and things, and you've got your children with you, but very much part of the event. Right at the beginning, we are just beginning to Cam touched on an eye out for is going to be the old blue machine of William Patterson. William has been the second quickest driver of the course of the rally. He's got a penalty. We were talking yesterday about the fact that he's down at the back in about 3 or 4 minutes. He's curtailed the field. Yeah, pick it up.
The cars are giving you instructions on how to change it. When we were here this morning, maybe a few team drivers will change the gearbox regularly. This seems to be a navigational error. I want to take the moment. When we get the rear-wheel drive cars out, I suspect that car is going to be pulling away down the hillside each and every time you try and make a corner. Yeah, absolutely. Cars coming thick and fast. One of that here as they enter into the corner there. So, yeah, the curve must be and then it is a large gap of course. We are waiting on 4 cars to complete the stage, including yet another incident that left-hander that I think is going to be continuing to catch people out the way through. Nonetheless, yeah, so it's a heavy impact. Possibly a tyre just launched underneath the car. So that's good enough. One of 5 of Lucian's right-hand down. Far of a rally, particularly on that part of the stage where this only opens is obviously the driver now, just taking a break, doing the volleyball rally for the juniors. The most popular one is the Skoda City Go, but we've also got VW Ups, keep an eye towards the tree line where the car is heading. It's worth noting that they immediately are climbing uphill, which I think will be quite exciting when we get to the Rally 2 cars, for example. For these juniors, it's been the momentum up straight away with the arc. That was quite a good fun, I recognise it. Firstly, that is really difficult, but secondly, you can give it a go and find out whether you're one of the lucky few. It's here in Knockhill, we've got the race course experience together for a great day out. If you do the rally experience, you are that car around. I gave it a go myself, it was totally mind-boggling and I was incredibly sweaty for the sake of on the handbrake for a couple of the corners on the left. Around them. A few more times have been coming in past this time of the stage, still that 6 minute 9 seconds from William Paston in the early stages. A number of drivers in the 6 minute 10, 6 minute 12 region higher up the seating order. More recently, we're seeing about a 6:25 to 6:30 being pretty standard. 6:28 notably both for Thomas Babb and Alfie Letton's car. They're pretty near each other in the overall order as well, so keep an eye on what is turning into a very quick track for way up the top four, just on fire. And is that our Yaris? I think it is the 126 at the bottom of the hillside, accelerated on that right-hander sweep. Right, it's one thing to get to see, but there's Carwilly also back into the Carwilly. We have got the recovery vehicle onto that part of the stage because everybody has the more Yaris and all green Skoda City O all 84 units stand for number 1 to 4 light work of each stage. It has a stage a bit longer, a bit more spaced out than we had yesterday. So it's kind of just more speed towards the drive. Yeah, a lot of congestion just a bit with these cars, but they spaced not each other. Respectful with each other, for example, there, Caleb was just on the throttle, make sure that the cars get ready to run stage number 7. There's a baby's car making their way right back round, so it's quite a again it's the 1-2 miles. So it's complete that stage, you might hear some background noise from around before the range things in the paddock because the competitors in the senior rally are beginning to get organised and themselves warmed up. But cars, a lot of cars actually, engines running and also up on the actual stands with engines running and for competitive events.
event inside the rally car. She's done a lot of media work around the rally scene, but this is her first time in competition, and she's in the navigators. She's also having to work her way through the autographs and things and get in the car. They had a good run yesterday. I think both very pleased with how things went, but we'll be chatting to them at various points during the day, and we'll see how they progress.
I seem to remember yesterday that you had been clocked into the check-in point for the stage at the right time. It must be more difficult for folks like Alistair and Jimmy at events like this because they're always got people around them.
Yes, it's, well, I think they're used to it, so they plan their activities with an extra little bit of time in hand. But yeah, once they're in the queue to go out the stage, that's you know, they're in the car, then they don't have the same challenges of just access. So, but yes, it's a great thing about this event is these guys are all available, more than happy to chat to you, sign autographs, they say up to all the rest. So it's and for some people it's the real sort of Jimmy is his real moment because in an event like this you do get to might bump into.
We've got cars back out onto the stage. What is now stage 7 of 10. It's led away once again by made it pretty light work on the hillside, it must be said. That just this second run on stage 7, and also Patterson again, very rapid, nice timeline down this hill, trying to chase that one car. I suppose this is what we were talking about earlier on, where they now know this layout because they did it for stage number 6, and they did it on the exit because you know where the tyre is. Hopefully they've been repositioned, of course, throughout the course of stage number 6. Will Patton in particular looked to be really quick through the left-hander that will be just disappearing from view for a lot of people. You go through the fast right, then there's a chance left where you be down the circuit, and Will Patton's very quick there.
Right, well, I'm sorry, I'm quite a deputy now because the engine just started up right beside me in the paddock, but closer to me than that engine it says Holly McRae. So Holly, you're just getting the paperwork sorted out for day 2 in the office. How was day 1 and what have you learned from day 1?
I had the best time yesterday. I mean, I knew I was going to enjoy it, being in the car, being sat next to my grams. I love the experience of being sat in the passenger seat, but I was a bit apprehensive that the actual co-driving duties would maybe tip me over the edge.
So you started out to get used to finding the right direction right from the driver, what did you do?
Yeah, I feel like yesterday we actually got into it quite quickly, quite simply. I am not the best at my lefts and rights, so I was a bit apprehensive, but we did, I think, touch wood, make a mistake on the lefts and rights yesterday, so hopefully more of the same today, we'll keep focusing on improvement.
Well, it's great to see out
The engine was actually, I think it was absolutely on field. You can still get that on the non-field website. That right-handed curve that takes you away from the hillside. Got to the lines, everybody expecting just a moment more to coming in. Henry Kimball is well and truly settling into the stage of his final lap of the international circuit.
Beautiful sightseeing, all of them lined up ready.
They were yesterday as well, just taking advantage of the width of the road there.
So they have their own right off and down the way from the point to the left.
We almost had our one.
Yes, you'll be with that. See you driving. Some of the car. Looking forward to that. I'm sure all the fans are here as well. We'll catch up with the previous point of view today to see how they're going. Yeah, we'll get the thing all right. Better happening in here than there.
Well, the times are coming in from stage 7, and it is William Parker, the 601, with an 8-second improvement on that stage. One is coming, this time from Mackenzie Snowden and Jonathan Turnbull in the 103 VW up. That's going to help them close in quite significantly. We're saying they need to average 3 seconds of pace as the round leaders get yeah, absolutely. So that's used to have 10 seconds. I do particularly enjoy this section where it's trying to touch more grip as you're going back up the pace as you gain. I want to get rid of that and getting double. Once you're off, you want to continue just extend the corner when it's a flight. None of which I didn't get your experience. I made a total mess of that one as well, but very, very good fun when you do.
That's where the junior cars, most of the junior cars anyway, are in service. I'm trying to get over there and have a quick one. So just someone in the then it's always on stuff and it's easy. Over there, right in there. It's, yeah, as I said, navigator and driver working well together. So cars are for service, anything special you consider, is it just the usual check over?
No, nothing at all, yeah, car's doing well.
Fine, there's 2 or 3 stages left to do it, take us on.
I don't know, we'll give it a go. I'm not really sure, to be honest. I haven't been for 2 years and I can't do it yet. Well, we start seniors as well, so I've got 2 options now.
Driver number 103, which is yeah, so a difficult stage here, but that's the last time you have to go through that there, so hopefully easier next time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the rallycross tracks.
Yeah, that's a rough track, the car really takes some punishment on that section.
Oh, it's bouncy, but it's got to be done. And in the next stage, will be stage 8 of the Guernsey Rally. 25-mile loop with the rally on Saturday. Yesterday, we saw quite unhit there, and it did kick the edge of the car up in the air. Get that Subaru a little bit airborne, this went a little bit late. But of course, the car was quite something. We were sat there waiting for the Rally 2 machines that came in. You've got all that to look forward to today, won't you? From different running, incredibly close together, way through it is, regardless of which one of them played the other, and so on and so forth. Last time round, between the two of them, they were both just about into 7-minute times.
Not as much experience as he's really got, but less experience as well as he's got. On the ground, but the shiny side down anyway. It's definitely, for a race driver going rallying, it's never an easy transition. Because you try and drive deeply and tidily, and that was always the problem that I had. Coming on it's a complex discipline, which a lot of people don't realise, but Dan is learning fast. You missed his little incident yesterday, which changed the shape of the battery, but I don't think he'll do that again. Well, probably not, because he bought the door under me for quite a lot of money. So, he's trying hard not to damage the other one. I'm not sure.
An eye on this, I'm going to get pretty fast, pretty quickly. McRae, 21 years old, beating in the European Rally Championship and also the British Rally Championship. This is his first rally in Estonia, as mentioned earlier on, and already getting a little bit of airtime with that rear axle as he climbs the hill. Back down the bridge once more, just for a brief moment, and now hard on the brakes. For a 90 to bring them back into our view once again. Now you're into these sweepers, and behind him, the next one of our competitors will set off. We'll stay looking at McRae just for a moment, though, as he lines up to set watch one more. May not only be the benchmark, but could possibly be the best time at the stage straight away.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. Yes, absolutely flying this morning. But he's not hanging out. I fully expect him to make the month because knowledge is really
nice and close to the back, onto the apex, down the section with the longer grass. Now he's taking the rear kick sections a little bit. This was the corner that caused the changes out. Another good through there with a huge amount of momentum being carried with what we saw earlier on and indeed yesterday. Now he's also a little bit cautious. The rear was stepping out on him as he dropped off that step up effectively with the concrete. Now into the left, he'll be descending down towards the racing course, whilst a number of the others who can begin to set off, so like Joe Cunningham in the number 11, who's the next one circuit, and Matt Edmonds, he'll chances number 9 as well.
Yeah, cars coming thick and fast. You'll see them just exit behind the trees and heading up that hill and then back down the area. The drivers here on
Line as well as spotted as number 11 of just making its way down onto the race circuit. Even not round the turn, that is an obvious double specs, so some pretty quick machines. Next one behind me is back towards those, what do you say, next tier of rally machinery. I-20, just 4 seconds separated in the overall rally. They not quite be there for the top 3 through several stages. Others. Keep an eye on that. Window up here. It's the rear out through this big right-hander that already is, I think, with a few difficulties on traction as is up on the hill. Another one, it'll be okay. always a bit of a serious particularly overhead and then in the that's how when you go sideways, see yourself. Not so much tail out as I expected, to be fair. It was here, but then it gets drastic on the extension short of the line. Yeah, that's the fault. It does look right there. And again, it's very easy to say so far. The left-hander, which will bring him back down all the way to, well, it's not but it goes straight
came at the end of the year, so come to us. That's always the bit that goes on behind the scenes that nobody sees, but it's probably up there that you would expect to see. And also another one that is running those rails.
I've actually got a very nice stage at the moment, making its way around that. Definitely control this occasion. Maybe right, what they've got is signage and they're prodding around in the back trying to move something that's underneath the car, I believe. So what it is under the car, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but definitely trying to work on it. Okay, give this a wrap. You see all the attention on to the back of the car rather than the front. Now, maybe resignation to the fact that that car is not moving under its own power. Out of the pit, made it to Duffus, didn't make it to Leslie. I was over very, very quickly indeed. Although she said hopefully around have the good time nonetheless.
All the corner markers, like corner markers, that's all supplies as well. Yeah, it's
John Marshall seems tiny. It's very close to the car, nice and tight, straight on. It's something about the operational livery and the slightly more policy ones, so to speak, than that year. They have to do with exactly how it matches. It just matched the private car on and away it went. Or one of
that is Chris Hoy, the wheel is just coming down the wall. Get all right.
Scotland in the junior rowing coming second actually near the men. So it seems to me that whatever Chris Point decides to do, he is one of the best in the world.
I mean, we got a chance for the first time out to see that rear end door panel yesterday, and it is significant. Like a few more tips like before, to be honest. The number 4 now accelerated on that right-hand we left back to the section of circuit that you'll be ever so slightly more familiar with. That said, that for me was like Daniel's best run on the hillside of the weekend so far.
Very, very confident.
Bringing himself into his first ever rally. Three-time Indianapolis winner. As we were saying, incredibly on the front, particularly on the circuit section, that is allowing him to be agile. Plan of the circuit. That is all they say has the equal time at the circuit, and so whatever it was, himself clearly more of a direct one in the stage 11. They're going anywhere, maybe like 2 minutes. To be honest, the slightly stubby bodywork on having absolutely belongs on the rally stage. There's just something about it that makes it Danny Frankie's tackles the chicane down the distance and up the other side towards Mac. I point like that too nice. Ready all the day. And the car is catching none other than Jimmy Daniel Frankie, the second in the pitch race chicane.
Yeah, so let's just wait for the time of Dario to come through. Makes his way down
back out the other side again. Bonnet is up now on the 45 Subaru for middle miss. No, they will not. McRae and McRae, Jimmy and Ollie, holding their ground at this point right here. Because let's not forget, they too were getting quicker at the back end of yesterday. Yeah, Jimmy just going to let them he will be hoping he can get ahead of this, as we said, he's looked much better already. That will continue, he can call himself.
deal, which had a bottom there, they had a lot of start stopping in that final race. Another 5 and 1 at station 1, that's not too bad.
Chris Hoy, I think he's making up speed as the event goes on. He's getting quicker relative to Dario. As we said before, the two cars were in entirely different classes.
You're so good.
And steps down once again, and not lacking confidence in the car control abilities there, are we? Because the thing was very, very sideways. Yes, it was. As we just take a look down towards the hairpin, and it looks like Stick Blomqvist is just bringing that mini up to the line very, very soon.
Learning something different, starting off straight away on the gravel. Different than uphill. That's
Yeah, but did a great job. Not hit anything this morning. So far, they haven't hit. Still enjoying it.
really time. That's the charity of it. So I cannot say enough about this event. People at Knockhill, a great family we put on.
Great stuff, Dario. Oh, no less. The kilometre on. Right, so Dario, if I can get clear, ready for the next stage. People going in at the back as there and contemplates the next stage. As well. Check the tyre pressures on that
Stage 7 to be run on the same layout as well, so that'll soon carry up. You've done the
not quite the same shape as it was and stuff, but I think that was just a little bit. Never decided. I like that very much. So just stuff Dario and busy traffic for sure time, but same stage again, so anything you can do on the next one. Try, yeah, try. Well, we'll look forward to seeing things here on stage tonight, Jimmy. So, Jimmy McRae there at the end of this. Wonderful to see about it. And also, trying to Holly alongside. Great job. The cars are working their way through the paddock. Some cars coming off the stage, just making their way through the ground.
light work of the twisty concrete section was that he'd always been good at those and now he's accelerating along an increasingly bumpy run actually on this right-hander. It'll only get turned up more as the day course 1984 World Rally Champion, 11 World Rally Championship wins, and he actually got 3 wins in the International Championship of Manufacturers, a predecessor to the WRC, a true legend. There, it's these cars well piece of history. And I look forward to having some great later on as well. I think a real sort of what you say, a moment where you get to put a physical thing to a fast testing mini out there. Other spectacular machinery, but now spectacular man Stick Blomqvist is at massive tyres. He's getting a little bit sideways in his minute. He's probably just having the time of his life in that little car, but it will be very, very physical with that many. Acceleration as well, so yeah, your body does take a battering. Only 79 years old is Stick Blomqvist. Still got plenty of years of rally. car has made its way onto the track, which is that over the bend here. Not consistently, not the whole time, but every now and again it looks a touch sluggish coming out of the corners. So far this morning at least, it doesn't do on those acceleration zones. Making its way down towards the hairpin. Of course, the other thing we love about this is delivering such an iconic paint job.
Yeah, they got up there. We got one thing was the clean in red, so it was flashing up the thing.
Along with sort of nose, along sort of tail end of itself. It drops down towards the road faster than the wheels do. We must now have our last car onto the stage, I believe we do. It's going to be that Escort this time. The Mini doesn't have the most power, but he's not leaving any unnecessary space to the inside of the corners, is he? Staying absolutely flying into trial and back out the other side. I suppose it's such a short wheelbase on the Mini as well, he's not actually struggling for traction quite as much as the other cars that classic Mini to the same pace as the modern rally mix. Joe Cunningham and Josh Riviere are still the closest competitors to Max, McRae and Cabrera in the R27 back. In turn, they have managed to open up a bit more of a comfortable margin to the third place of Matt Edwards and Neil Shank in that overall rally. Stop, who have you got?
Well, I did with all these are all queuing up for the next stage, but it's fast thing to see how he extended the lead there. He's used to drive for the Vauxhall Junior and so on, and similar time to when Dario was moving through the ranks in those disciplines as well. So it's quite a history behind Alex Connie, but he is an amazing talent.
Top of the hill. He needs now trying to stage, so we may get one more car round. However, whether or not it's the stage is yet to be determined. As for that overall order, we touched on the overall and not too late for us. We've got Max McRae out onto the stage for stage number 7. 4.2 miles of it. A slight touch of the brakes for him actually. He was impressed there. That feels like something he's learned through his experience here at Knockhill as an instructor, and that Skoda is once again absolutely flying. Give your time 2 seconds. We're expecting possibly some 450 this time around, Kenny?
Yeah, I think he'll not quite 6 seconds of his previous time. He knows exactly what to expect. What he's been through this many times, this particular configuration of the tracks he has been. So I don't expect him to pick up much time.
Waiting on entry as well to this twisty section he's in at the moment, because he got himself all the way out, not quite onto the grass, but they can't be more than a couple of millimetres ahead. That's some truly slippery stuff. At the moment, however, making his way down the hill, he's using the handbrake to great effect again. Nonetheless, he was once again making sure he got tight to the apex at the bottom of the hill. How is the case of backing on Joe Cunningham in that WRC spec machine to the apex?
Yeah, he's going on well, as you see, Matt Edwards.
Those cases Joe Cunningham have had through into the morning as well. I don't think he goes back just getting quicker and we need to wind his way down to the bottom, back on the power out the other side. A little bit more slip.
He's actually big already, he's won the National League Cup, and he won the World Championship once well.
around that section of the circuit. So possibly a bit of traffic for McRae as he attempts to completely engage number 15 outside on this occasion. It looks like he's tight from there.
Kind of gauge how quick the cars are going.
Back down to the ground for a little bit before he rides. I think the circuit change over the top three is starter and everything.
Target dropping them on the grass there. It's a little bit tail happy as they come round and down from the hill.
We'll have to find through in just a moment and see if that's Soda Rally 2. He did improve in 452 stages. John Rollins, got to do coming up massive
Let's go.
There's been a couple of mistakes into the chicanes that just sacrificed a couple of seconds.
Wait, but as the rally but now, of course, the one we're expecting is going to be Matt Evers and Neil Shanks in the good day. Can the good day put the pressure on to Joe Cunningham for second place? No, 456 for the Aston.
It's still a really good run. So you're saying Joe Cunningham then? So standby.
I wonder how it'll feel about that. Technically, two ties in there. This morning from 452, Gary Pearson, 3 cars, 5
Rather cautious yesterday, and it wasn't really getting towards the entire fishing on all something.
podium is still on the way now from Matt Evers and Neil Shannon. Number 9 having lost a bit of time actually on this stage this time round, so keep an eye out for them as they progress. As we have a hillside forward down forward here. We have enough.
Yeah, that's alright. There's no reason. I'm just hearing a lot, but it's completely fine. We've got enough of a lead now that it's No, not really. I think we'll just keep doing the same thing and not make any mistakes, and then get it to the finish. Great stuff.
Great to hear from Max. There we go. This weekend, and clearly have a special opinion with a bad
Give me the signing, but absolutely top-class professional driver. What is it that cover the same special stages and identical times? Consistency is one of the key yes, the other thing regular Super rally car into that
That's some investigative journalism. I'm really curious to know how that score is comparing to the second and also the fourth of it at the previous running of this event. When that Evans on the stage now,
AMG, I think it was the AMG ZR, where the chicanes are positioned. It's over on the hillside with its time to be about.
To Max McRae and Gary Pearson at last stage of all game. Yeah, that's fantastic to go there with big names. Yes, you seem to be thoroughly enjoying the event. The car obviously to your liking at the moment, no changes to the next stage. Takes the drive the world on guys, it's fantastic. The last stage now. I don't know anyway. You did quite a lot of rallying. Here, so it's in the blood. We're watching Kevin racing, so yeah. And the talent, so well done to Eco Quickest. I wonder if you could win a stage before the end of the day. It would be very nice, very nice. Number 11 and very well.
It became in time for them to put them in the ballpark.
Boxing champion as well, so it shows you where they generally did well in.
Just marveling for a moment there. The whole thing, not pivoting around the front axle, pivoting around the big.
Getting themselves ready for this stage.
Rally for now. Quite a bit of excitement on the hillside. Rise up the ridge, that was even forward around all the time.
Forcefully is taking a beating on that hillside.
When the car is bouncing up and down, nonetheless, going very, very quickly is that Porsche. We've also got the Porsche 4 Escort that got stranded yesterday, down the hill, and it was just like one point fashion that we saw in stage number 6, sideways and sideways and sideways again, and the 33.
Yeah, comment quickly.
That point there, as you say, we actually don't get a great the car all sorts of out of shape and some tires above there. That Subaru now is completely sideways in massive crashes. That is showboating, exhibition type driving there. Fantastic, and sideways through dumpers. That's somebody who's come here to have fun, having a lot of fun. Yes. And then
Just to recap. By his services, in a few moments. But there's a lot of cars heading through the paddock at the moment because what we're going to have as part of our activities we've got 100 show cars here. This good morning. This slowly sideways group of rally cars from the track. Look forward to that very shortly, so it's going to be a tremendous photo opportunity as well down towards the Irvine area. They're going to try and get them all lined up and a little bit of course really in the slowly sideways.
looking much quicker than yesterday actually through that section, and I reckon this direction on the swing track is arguably slightly more difficult because before you were going uphill and you had grip on the wheels that are doing the turning.
As I say, I'm enjoying all that enthusiasm is still very good. They're doing amazing things with it.
the way you actually like it, is it all pretty much equally difficult?
I mean, the bits are for that. Two-wheel drive car. You ever tempted to go back to four-wheel drive for this, or do you think you just love the two-wheel drive and it's good work too? I enjoy driving full stop with this four-wheel, so I'm not really.
That's right, I guess so, yeah. So, switching subject a little bit, you did mention your son helping he's having seasons in the World Rally Championship. It's getting to the nail of it's tantalising, Nicholas.
From that, I remember very well. Stages when one, 2 years ago. That's rallying, as they say, and all these rallies, like gravel roads, and yeah, colourful punishment. I think it's the title for that job.
Well, you're doing the job. Smaller British Rally Championship, thought it decided to McRae and enjoy the event. So back to you in the commentary channel.
Another couple like Chris Moy released during that conversation. He's making his way down towards the hairpin and looks very, very lively. Jimmy McRae, or if it's up inside, down at the bottom of one, bouncing and bobbling. Wheel drive cars doing there. It's beginning to be shown that Dario Franchitti also chasing down the car of Chris Moy. Fight it out for bragging rights at the dinner table. I love the something that brings together. You never want that. Master class out and close the gap to Chris Moy. That's something we enjoy watching. Number 6 position. 5:28, so a very staged 5:28 will put him in the ballpark effectively with the cars he's over in the overall order. Daniel Franchitti, I'm sure that door gets worse every time we see it now, but it is so far at least looking like a good run for Dario. He does have the number 1 display at the trial motion game. Yes, it's just to get used to layering out there on track together. Road Partial NASCAR game in 2008, worth noting that if we're talking about the team tournament, Dano's winning. Wait 5 years, give him the smile, which is, well, in our case, he used on his face whenever Dom yesterday and this morning. So the lap like through 7 in the second. Company near the number 15 Escort RS down behind the ball. Therefore, again, in one of the technical sections in particular, then we want the gap is kept that little bit higher, and then they'll open up power onto this finish. On for another lap of this non-kill socket in anti-clockwise direction. The anti-clockwise direction is done before. It's worth noting that when you go clockwise, it's going to be uphill. Douglas falls away up now. Every corner is uphill. You've got the weight on the front, the weight on the turn in. I can only imagine that the reverse direction here, anti-clockwise we're doing right now, the hairpin, it falls away, flat corner, it falls away, the chicane drops away from you, even more so than it does going the other way around, which certainly can't help with the confidence you've got inside the car, helping to separate those at the back with slightly more affinity.
Chris, you love the rallying because you focus on yourself and you try and be under such a when you end it through, then every time you get in the car you learn a bit more
and as long as you try not to make mistakes and have fun, that's the aim of it. Like if you can be faster than an Indy 500 winner, then that's a bonus. You know, absolutely. Yeah, but you get quicker and quicker. I think you're beginning to get the limit in the car now because obviously your car's a step ahead of technology. Stars, little tyres, split ends, and I felt like a total numpty. So just delighted to be having fun and learning. And Campbell is incredible. You're my co-driver, Campbell Roy. He has so much experience. And he helps me get through it, and most importantly, helps me have fun while we're doing it, because that's what we're here for. It's for charity. Annual cycling charity event, mass participation for anybody. It's not just for mammals with expensive bikes and lycra. It's going to be next year. We haven't got the date yet, but we had it. It was 2 weeks ago. We raised 2.7, which I'm very grateful to Lee Patterson and the Asset Alliance people for doing that for us as well. Yeah, fantastic cause. So I hope everybody had that Tour de Force charity was investigating that. I did like your comment yesterday when you were speaking to me one of the other chats. Apologising to the following car. Yes. Oh, it was just so unfortunate. It literally got started after half a minute, and he was half a minute behind, so he was right behind me. There's nowhere to really let you have to either make the move or you have to sit behind, and he got stuck behind me for the whole way. Thank you so much. And we'll see him out in action again on the stages later in how can we do it better the next time? Every time, regardless of what the achievements, how can we do it better the next time?
And we got that bit before the having fun bit. I think the having fun was the media training coming quite importantly. It was quite enjoyable. We got a chuckle out of that in the commentary box. Yeah, I am a fellow mammal. Yeah. I suppose in theory so am I, apart from all of the bits that are in. He is doing a very good job of applying a similar theory of power. It's not dissimilar to the cardiac not necessarily on the apex, you don't get the rear out on the concrete steps.
You were a bit worried there might be a misfire last time out, but it seems to run cleanly.
Yeah, fuel surge or something. Running well. We were a wee bit quicker that time. And the most important thing was we got ahead of Jimmy at the split. We get behind this time and us was all ahead. The Jimmy Mutley had the celebration of the car. It could really open up this car with all the power, but I'm ashamed to finish that stage. It was just brilliant.
Yeah, it's full on stuff. What a car as well. But you've got the door safely secured now for
That's our one. It's a bit of a wet whip. It's about 500 horsepower, which is brilliant on the bits of the knock handle. The doors going into the I Love Me building, back room.
But you're still on for a podium, though, aren't you?
Well, we can all
Where's Chris Lloyd?
That's what his name is. Well, it's now the time to point out my car for that year. I did that yesterday. Do you know what? The joy in Chris's voice when I heard him, and I think we all, there's a wee bit of all of us, we sit at the start and I hear Andy, my co-driver, counting down and
champion 4 times and maybe 500 wins 6 times. There's a lack of talent. Just got to get used to the car now.
yeah, again, what?
Guys, black one, we did the same word.
The camaraderie with Jimmy, Alistair, everybody. Having a look back, it's hilarious. I got one of Jimmy's old hits as well. It's just been last night.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that as the next question. So you're decided now?
Oh, definitely. I think I'd like to do a bit of testing before I turn up. I'm well impressed with Dario jumping in this beast and going out here without any testing at all. But I think I need a bit more preparation.
So back to the town.
I can feel the storyline coming already, the Franchitti versus Franchitti battle, which several years in advance of the next event, most likely, they're already talking about getting tested in the case of Marino. So very, very
So those body work of that car. I don't know how much
lanes to have the well, we expect about 100 Subarus today. Unity works driver in the foreground. Release speed. Maybe 90, really 90. Just to then on the bars and then we'll see flying up the hill. There's a regular section where, as we spoke about before, for 2 years in particular, the all about the event gets a little bit of air. You go to the crest, the brow of the hill, and then you see through the trees. Back off. And then from left down, one thing about the tail end does get more fuels and light with the drive down towards all this tarmac on the hillside. See, look, on that left-hand there, where you whip it round, there is a bag right on the inside of that corner. I'll do a great job of avoiding it, but it's well, I was going to say it's not on the edge of the grass, it's not on the grass. So they'll have to be careful with that one on this particular stage. Down to create winding and weaving his way back down the hill now where we on the front end. So a number of cars kind of forward. Well, out of the airfield. Don't be trying to do that there. What
They have over a million
suggestions on the track. Bringing the father I was watching the tour line there, they joined Andrew back I think it's great that it's very difficult to the whole
run just goes about right. You need to put them straight out. Up and down, really fast right down there against the tail. Sticking out the tail. That's the racer. Kids from the farm down towards the racetrack. beast. I was thinking of Big Al, Jimmy, and his brush.
Obviously enjoyed the event, GC, your house development as well. Much quicker this car, but I'm doing it That's with that, took it back to the tower.
Over to the when my foot